Gooseberries is a short story penned by Anton Chekhov, a Russian writer. It was originally published in 1898 and is the second part of a collection known as the Little Trilogy, which also includes The Man in the Case and About Love. The narrative revolves around Ivan Ivanovich Chimsha-Gimalaysky, a veterinary surgeon, who recounts the tale of his younger brother, Nikolay Ivanovich. The story unfolds with Ivan and his companion, Burkin, a teacher, walking across fields under an overcast sky burdened with clouds. As Ivan prepares to share a story with Burkin, he lights his pipe, but suddenly, rain begins to pour down. Seeking shelter, the men find themselves at the nearby estate of their friend, Aliokhin. Aliokhin, covered in grime from his work in the dirt, welcomes them into his house and offers them a chance to bathe. Inside, they encounter Pelagia, a beautiful young girl who provides them with soap and towels. The three men proceed to bathe, observing as the water around Aliokhin turns murky due to his prolonged period without washing. Aliokhin, a diligent and unmarried individual, tends to neglect his appearance in the absence of guests. Unexpectedly, Ivan rushes outside and plunges into the expansive body of water in front of the house, frantically flailing his arms and beseeching God for mercy. The others manage to bring Ivan back into the house, where Pelagia serves them tea. Finally, Ivan proceeds to share the story he had intended to tell Burkin before the storm. He recounts their childhood spent freely roaming the countryside after their late father's estate was sold to settle debts and legal expenses. Nikolay, deeply dissatisfied with his job as a government official, nurtures a dream of acquiring his own country estate. Feeling suffocated by the confines of his workplace and the political intricacies of his daily existence, Nikolay yearned to recapture the joy of his childhood. Overwhelmed by greed, he entered into a loveless marriage with a wealthy widow, believing she could offer him the life he desired. His fantasy revolved around acquiring a townhouse with land where he could cultivate gooseberries. This fixation consumed him entirely, blinding him to all else. In contrast, Ivan Ivanovich did not share his brother's dream, considering it an escapism from reality and an unnecessary limitation on one's possibilities. Rather than retreating to a country estate, he believed one should explore the world and actively engage in society. When Nikolay's wife passed away, he wasted no time in purchasing an estate, planting no fewer than 20 gooseberry bushes. However, when Ivan visited his brother years later, he discovered an insufferably egotistical man who bore little resemblance to the person he once knew. The estate was cluttered with haphazard ditches, fences, and hedges, creating an impression of utter disorder. A dog resembling a pig barked at Ivan, while a barefoot cook, also pig-like in appearance, emerged from the scene. Guided by the cook, Ivan reached his brother, who had grown portly and shared a similar resemblance to a pig. It became apparent to the reader how far removed this reality was from Nikolay's youthful dream. Nikolay invited Ivan to admire his gooseberry bushes and taste the ripe fruit, but even the fresh berries left a bitter aftertaste. During the visit, Ivan sank deeper into despondency, observing his smug and self-satisfied brother, perceiving him as someone whose life flowed effortlessly. He longed to ground his brother in reality, reminding him that others face significant hardships and challenges. As the story reaches its conclusion, Ivan reflects on his own happiness and sense of fulfillment. He acknowledges that he used to be just as content as any affluent individual, convinced that all people would eventually attain freedom. Regrettably, Ivan now considers himself too old and unfit for the struggle, pleading with Aliokhin to take action. Despite Ivan's impassioned narrative, Aliokhin and Burkin remain unimpressed by his story. Although Aliokhin feels drowsy, he postpones retiring to bed in the hope that the conversation might become more intriguing. There is a hint of curiosity in Aliokhin regarding a topic discussed by the two men, yet the specifics are left undisclosed. Eventually, the three men retire to bed, with Burkin being kept awake by the scent of Ivan's pipe. The tale concludes with the mention of rain relentlessly lashing against the windows throughout the night. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.